Today we find ourselves on the road to Reed. Now Reed Church, which is just off of Barkway, is another Saxon one, hopefully. It's mentioned in the Domesday Book, so hey, it must have some Saxon history. It's separated from the village by a good half a mile, apparently, and I'm not sure why, but here we are. It looks like, yes, we're on the left bend, this is where they said it was, so I shall be back in touch soon. Well, and here we are at Reed Church. As I say, it's certainly been here since the middle of the 11th century. The south door, which will be quite evident, is Saxon. As it was mentioned in the Domesday Book, as I just said, it was definitely here at that period. Now, as we come in, we look at the nave. Now, this is classic. Here we have those lovely long and short coins, and they're made of Barnock stone, which was the material that was used with most of the Saxon churches in this area. And there is a 19th century porch. We'll get back to that in a minute. But let's take a look then. So what we have is Saxon corner coins, medieval tower. Now, this medieval tower, which goes right the way to the top. Yeah, you wouldn't believe that, would you? So here, for the first 3 feet of this tower, apparently should still be Saxon. Well, the coins suggest not. But actually, what you can see here, I don't know if you can see just underneath that window, and just come round here, you can clearly, I can clearly see, and I'm sure you can too, there is a medieval arched doorway, which has been blocked up, and I'll try and point to see if I can get you. There's the top. Comes round down there and obviously round on the other side. That's definitely a doorway, and that has definitely been blocked. Somebody's definitely blocked up. There we have it. There is a lovely late Saxon doorway. Look at that, and it's blocked up now, which is a shame. When we come in close, we see that the timpium, with the bit underneath the arch, is plain. So no Lamb of God or anything as we had at Birchhanger. But look, we've got these lovely scrolled capitals there on the pilasters, and the original door jambs right down to the floor. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh. It is a glorious church. Look at that. Now it's got a 14th century chancel. You know, it would have had an earlier sort of apse on there originally in the Saxon times. And I just have to add that all 4 corners of the nave have got the original Barnock stone coins, which is really nice. It's a nice touch. It's the one that most of them have only got sort of 2 surviving, so nice touch. Just out the back here, I can see a little field, and something looks a bit strange. This is Welcome to Wisbridge Farm. Okay, now I'm going to have to check this out later, because looking at this field, something's not right. First of all, it's tiny. It's about an acre. It's about the size that an English archer would have got when he came back from the 100 Years' War. Yeah, here's an acre of land, thank you for your services. And looking at the crops, they haven't used insecticides. This is how it would have looked in medieval times. There's weeds and more weeds. And it's really strange. I mean, the yield isn't going to be that great, but I think that they are doing this as a bit of a project, and that is absolutely fantastic, because as I'm walking down here, it's going to be, well, they'll get a few loaves of bread out of it, that's for sure. But it's really just, look, I've just got to show you that this is unacceptable nowadays, and it's amazing. They must be hopefully funded. Let's just have a look over at the other field and see if we've got more than one. It's really quite strange and surreal to be walking in a field that's really not much larger than a football pitch. You know, read all about them, but this is it. This is an outdoor museum, and that's really exciting. What have we got next door? Got a similar thing actually. There's no, that crop's looking like it's had a few bits of treatment, some spray. So we'll just stick with this one. Absolutely glorious. I mean, you can't go back in time any more than hanging out at the 11th century church and then just taking in a bit of medieval field. Wonderful. So here we are approaching the south porch. Now, just as we go past, that looks like an old font, an octagonal font, which is now, well, housing some earth and lovely flowers. Look at that, that's absolutely gorgeous. So here we are. So we have a 19th century south porch, and right, the good news is, look, that's the outer door is open. So let's see what we have in here. What we have there is a 15th century door, all original. Look at that, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, wouldn't it be fantastic if it's open? Fingers crossed. Well, it is. Wow, and the first thing we see is the Saxon door from the inside. Now, obviously it hasn't got all its detail, but that's not bad. Let's take a look. First of all, there's the font. So maybe that's a slightly later one from the one outside in the churchyard. Not sure. Let's look when we got Victorian pews. We have a nice seating. That actually looks sort of 17th century, so it's not. But now look, this is this gorgeous medieval chancel arch. It's really quite impressive. It lets in lots of light. Let's take a little stroll down. So imagine we're in the Saxon nave. We would have had a much smaller Saxon chancel arch leading to an apse. But what we have now is a heavily rendered chancel, which is a bit of a shame. Nice medieval windows, but you know, they're all plastered up, so there's no nooks and crannies and little effigies and stuff, which is a real shame. So what else have we got here? Well, it's not a great deal. I think the door is most probably the most exciting part of this church. I have spotted just up here, we've got a little bit of graffiti. And what's that say? MC Kiver? There's NDCCC 1886. Wonderful. And actually I should say graffito, because we have another one here, J Camp. And now it's either the year before or he just miscalculated there and ran out of moon. That's 1885. So it's another little gem. It's a beautiful church. It's cool and it's peaceful, and I can hear the birds singing outside, and what a better place to be. I mean, Sunday afternoon. Wonderful. Let's go on to the next. Absolutely gorgeous, Dad. And what a lovely door. It's been a lovely visit, and thank you, and bye-bye.